Alright guys, in this video we're getting nerdy. We're bringing out thermal cameras, we're bringing out noise meters, and we're bringing out the scale. Today guys, we are comparing the PocketRocket 2 to the Optimus Crux stove. I'm Taylor and welcome to Southern Heights. So guys, as you've followed our channel, you know for years now I've used the PocketRocket. Honestly, a lot of people use the PocketRocket and the PocketRocket 2 to be more specific, made out of MSR. It's a very common stove used in the backcountry, and then there's a few other options out there, and definitely people use those different options, but it's one of the most popular ones if you want a more known brand and just durable stove for in the backcountry. Well, I noticed, and then after hearing John Kelly talk about it a few times, the Optimus Crux stove, and I heard it was quieter, so I said, it'd be interesting to try this year, to try a new one, as you've seen in our new gear video from earlier this year, and I was like, that would be a cool option to have. And we all know that a lot of these stoves sound like Boeing 747s when you turn them on, and he said that this was a quieter option, so I was like, I'm going to try it out for myself. Well, I've used it a few times already, and I definitely want to talk about it today, comparison to the PocketRocket. And I got nerdy. I did some different things to just do some comparisons. This is not to sway you one way or the other, but just to kind of give you a little bit more in-depth look at both of these. And we're going to kind of break it down into three different areas, and then we'll kind of go through each one of them. Then I'll discuss what I'm going to do for the remaining of the year. So guys, this video is comparing these two stoves. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Before we actually list all three of the different tests I did, I just want to go ahead and talk about each one. As we've already mentioned, this is the PocketRocket. I'll give you an in-close look at it. This is the PocketRocket 2, the MSR PocketRocket 2. This is a sweet stove. It comes with this red plastic case. I do use it. You could skip it if you wanted to cut some weight, but this is the case that comes with it and it easily fits in there when you fold it up. So this is the PocketRocket. This is the Optimus Crux stove. It is known that these fold up, and then you can also fold this over and it becomes flat. And so the reason it becomes flat is it comes with a, I guess, soft material case. You can tuck it inside of the side of this material here when it's flattened, and then you can actually squeeze it with this cinch onto the bottom of a tank, so it kind of wraps to the bottom of your tank and will keep them together. And they do, I want to mention in this video, they do make a light version of the stove too. This is not the light version. This is the standard Crux stove. All right, first thing we're going to try them on is weight. This one is going to come in, and you'll see on the scale, at 73 grams. So that is, I'll make sure to put on the screen, convert it to ounces, but that is going to be the first one at 73 grams. Now we're going to talk about the Optimus Crux weight. So we'll put it on the scale, and it is going to come in at 89 grams. Now, as far as this first comparison, to me, unless you're a gram weenie, that's not really a big deal. You know, around 10 grams of difference. So they're very similar in weight. Now we're going to do a temperature, and you would find this kind of an odd test, but honestly, maybe some people are in the same boat I am. This is an important test. It can be useful as far as packing up if you're having to wait for your burner to cool down. We're going to do a temperature cool down, how long it takes for these to actually cool down after you turn them off. And first we'll show that we'll do a control first and show that we're right between, you know, it goes back and forth between 70 to 75 degrees, more around room temperature. That will be our control temperature. And then I'm going to compare both of these at 3 minutes, and we're going to put a thermal camera on them and see which one is the coolest at a 3-minute mark. So let's start with the PocketRocket first. Let's light it up. And you'll see that my thermal camera is not able to read over 300 degrees initially right when you turn it off. So we'll have to wait. I've got a timer going, and we're going to start at the 3-minute mark. And I kind of skipped to that, but we'll see that we're still around 120, 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Definitely still a little warm for sure. Same setup for the Optimus Crux. Let's go ahead and start our initial. Yes, we're overload on our thermal camera at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's skip forward a little bit around the 3-minute mark, and you can see that we're at 170 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit still. Now, I want to do this test because when I've already been using this one this year, I noticed that my PocketRocket actually cools down faster. And I don't know if that's just because of the actual metals that are used in these. That's something to duly note, is that with the Optimus Crux, before you can pack it back up, you might have to wait an extra couple minutes for it to cool down, or it could be hot and start melting stuff. So that is our second test. to show that the PocketRocket has an actual faster cooldown time. Final test, the big one to me, and the one that a lot of people discussed about the quietness. I've had a lot of people confirm, and I confirm myself, it's definitely quieter to the ear, but let's see it with the numbers. I've actually got a noise meter. We're gonna go ahead and test both of these. But first, let me do a control. As you can see, that's right between 30 to 35 decibels or dBA. I'm not going to get nerdy with the decibels and what the A means. Just know that you can use these numbers to stay relevant with the comparison. So without actually doing one of them lit, you'll see that we're between 30 to 35 dBA. All right, so first on the list will be the PocketRocket. Let's go ahead and get that burner going. I'm going to hush for a minute so you can hear it as much audio as possible. So it looks like right around 82 dBA. That is our comparison as far as with the PocketRocket compared to a control of around 35 dBA. So now let's do the Optimus Crux. All right, so interesting enough, it's right around 68 to 69 dBA with the Optimus Crux. So that's really interesting. Definitely over a 10 dBA difference to show that it definitely is a quieter. And I can definitely tell you from my ear, and the people in the comments could tell you they've already heard this one, it is definitely quieter. Those are some total different things to look at. As far as overall toughness, both of them are pretty strong, pretty durable looking. I mean, I'll be pretty well off of either one of these. It's not the BRS, but I'm not gonna hate on the BRS. I know a lot of people use it, but these are a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher, a little bit more known. Yes, they're probably still made overseas, but these are both solid burners. This year, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, I'm probably gonna start using this Optimus. I actually do like the quietness of it. It's a lot calmer sounding. And one test I didn't do is as far as heating. I didn't, in the few times I've used it already, I mean, probably use it on, I'd say probably 10 or 15 boils now. As far as how quick it boiled water, I really didn't notice much difference, to be honest with you. I could have done a test on that, but I just didn't really notice much difference. So they're very good, both of them, in comparison as far as getting water boiled quick and creating heat to get your water boiled quick, because you know we get hungry when we're out there, or if we want our coffee on a cold morning. So yes, I will definitely be using the Optimus Crux this year. I'm excited to use it. I honestly like the aesthetics of it, and my Totes pot fits on it well, so there's no problems there. And I'm excited to use this one, and it still fits in my 550 milliliter Totes pot. So that's something to mention too, that even inside the little cloth case that comes in, it does fit in my Totes pot. So guys, if you're tuning in this one trying to figure out which one you need, or if you're trying to make a conversion, I think honestly you're good either way. I'm not gonna say you should have this one or should have the other one. They're both solid stoves. I just want to do this little comparison because there's some pros and cons to both. I'm excited to use this through this entire backpacking season for 2022. And let us know in the comments what you use, or if you're a BRSer. I know there's a lot of those out there. Or if you've used one of these, or you're thinking about converting or curious about the other. I'd be interested to know. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is our video for this week. This was our little stove comparison. And we will see you next week. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you next Thursday.